What's up, everybody? I'm Izzy.
And I'm Fitty.
Back at it again with another episode of
How We Talk Podcast. That's weird, dude. Like, it's like you're gasping for air when you do that.
No, it's like...
I feel like sometimes I don't know if I should jump over the bar and kind of
No.
You know.
It's like
mouth
he's
to mouth?
bracing himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. It's exactly what
It's
it is.
excitement?
It's
Is
a
that what it is?
podcast.
As a listener, you pick it up.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I always wondered about that because
Yeah.
I'm like looking at it.
Oh, so
like,
you're a listener.
So seeing it live, I'm like, wow, that's how it goes. Okay.
Oh, see, he's our listener.
Oh, yeah.
We have listeners and we have watchers.
Well, I am.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
So you're
strictly a
listeners.
listener,
Straight
strictly a
listener. What platform do you use?
Probably the least popular one. It's called Stitcher.
Stitcher? Okay.
Stitcher.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies and
Who we talking
gentlemen,
about?
this is Jorge Avendaño, our guest
No.
for tonight.
It's Jorge.
Jorge. You don't go by George at all?
No, I don't.
No.
I correct
You know
people.
what? You know who you should
Jorge.
go by? If you look at the camera, just so people could see you,
Okay.
you should go by Jason Lee. Do you know who that is?
No idea.
He's an actor. You look just like him, dude.
Jason
Yeah.
Lee.
Jason Lee. Look him up.
Google
him.
Google it.
Google it.
All right.
Anyway,
I've
Jorge.
got-
So you go by Jorge.
Jorge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, outside of the family, I go by Jorge. Everybody in the family, like Georgie, George. Yeah.
What does Andres call you, though?
The filter fish.
The filter fish.
The filter fish.
Why? Wait. Why are you saying it wrong? For one.
That's the whole point about it. 'Cause
Okay.
English is my second language, like all of us, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I learned it late in life at 13.
Well, I know not all of us because his first language was probably English.
Oh, all the way English. It's
Okay.
still my first language.
Yeah.
So
by
you
the
don't
way.
speak Spanish?
No.
No.
He knows
Oh.
burritos and tacos.
I know enough to
okay.
stay alive and stay fed for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, hola.
I mean, I know some.
Depends on where you're at.
It depends. Yeah. Well, that's true. But okay, you guys are the filter fish.
I know it's gefilte fish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
Wait.
yeah,
Is it
but it was
Is it in the movie with Chris?
Rush
Chris-
Hour.
Chris
but
Rocker?
The, out, the,
Yeah,
the
Jackie Chan?
outtakes at
Yeah.
the you know
Yeah.
on the back at the
Gefilte
end
fish.
of the movie.
They're in the plane.
He was saying it wrong.
Yeah.
And then I was laughing, and then he just I don't know why he started calling me the filter fish.
So that's why he calls you the
So
filter fish.
it's one of those nicknames that they call you so. He was calling him so much that on one of his Instagrams or social medias,
my Facebook.
Facebook?
to the date still like
you
that.
still have it.
It's Jorge Fish Avendaño.
There you go.
Yeah.
It just sticks on.
That's
you,
how
dude.
these names begin.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have anything like that?
Fiddy.
Fiddy?
50 Rock.
Fiddy.
When I
Yeah.
came in, did I say Fiddy or did I say Fidel?
That's true. Well, I didn't come in saying BC, but everybody in my family calls me BC.
Beastie?
Beastie. Yeah.
BC?
BC, not Beastie.
Like before Christ?
Yeah, like before Christ.
Why?
Really?
Yeah, BC. Yeah, big
Oh,
No,
you're
no,
lying.
this guy-
big
This
cheeks.
guy.
I had big cheeks.
Oh, okay, sure.
Ever since I was a baby, I had big cheeks. What did you think? Get
Big Coco. That's what it was.
Get your minds out of the
He's got
gutter.
that. You see the 3 buttons on the head right there? He's got big ass
I got
head.
the opposites. I'm 3 buttons inward.
Oh, really?
I got a time. Remember you tried to
Oh,
give
that's
me
right.
a hat, and I was
That's
like,
right.
dude, you
Yeah.
gotta get me like a.
I give him my hat, and
Oh.
then I was like, I had to minimize it. Like
And-
I had to set it up like if I was giving it to Vincent.
But, yeah, and I don't know. He might. Yeah, in like 2 years, his head probably gonna be bigger than my head's tiny.
Yeah. Man.
Well, you know what they say about dudes with big heads.
yeah, big hats.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Big
Yeah.
heads.
you know.
Alright.
Fucking-
Yeah.
These are dad jokes. Bro.
Oh, no, dude.
I hate it,
Well, I
man.
mean, hey,
As I get older,
we're dads.
As I get older and older, man, they get worse and worse. But I can't
keep dodging that
resist.
bullet.
What happened?
you
That being the
matrix
dad
that, huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
You bust a matrix on it.
yeah. No, man. Wait, you said that you beat the bullet.
Dodged
Did
the
you,
bullet.
You
He
dodged
said
the bullet.
dodged the
Did you have a scare or what?
I have many scares.
Oh shit!
Dude, I'm
This
I'm
guy-
28 years old.
This guy's wearing it like he wears it on his sleeve, man.
But honestly, I ran into some really good girls where they're like, "I'm gonna buy a Plan B." I'm like, "Thank you so much." She's like, "Listen, I got a master's. I ain't trying to fuck my life up."
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you."
They're doing you a solid.
Yeah, well, they're doing themselves a favor.
Yeah,
How does
are.
that make
doing
you feel,
themselves
though?
a favor. But at the same, no, I'm happy
You're
because
cool with it?
yeah.
All right, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Damn. Could have had a lot of little Jorges, a lot of little fish laying around there, little
Dude,
guppies,
yeah.
Yeah.
little Jorge guppies.
It's a little.
Guppies. Where does that come from?
Isn't that like
Guppies?
That's a fish, right?
yeah.
It's the filter fish.
gefilte fish, baby gefilte fish.
Guppy.
Some people say I don't want it to mess up my life. My son improved my life, man.
Well,
Yeah.
It's
Hey.
all a matter of perspective. Maybe if I would have had one,
True.
I would always been like, that's my boy or that's my girl. Like, but
Of course.
right now I'm like,
Well, in today's society,
yeah,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
feel like it does
Yeah.
make you step up to the plate.
oh, definitely. Well, yes and no. I wish I could say that about me because I was a knucklehead,
Yeah.
you know, when my son was
Right.
born.
Yeah.
And it took a good 2 or 3 years into my son's
Yeah,
life
but
that
eventually you corrected it.
eventually, yeah, for sure.
and I
But
feel like
it should have happened when he was born.
generally, if you got a good heart, that's where it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I think that's
Yeah.
where the saying comes in when people say you're never ready to have kids.
Yeah. Well, you really.
Mm.
never
You're
ready.
not. You're not. You're
Mm.
never financially ready. You know,
No.
they say, oh yeah, you are, but you're not. You're never
No.
financially ready. Mentally, that's the most important one. And but I think that's where it comes from, where you're like, I ain't having kids, but the day that it comes and it's there, you're ready. You know,
There's
you
no-
you
there's no
step up to
manual.
the plate. you know?
Even when you have two and you're pregnant by the third, you're like, shit, I'm not ready for this one.
Yeah.
That's my mom.
But you kind of are.
Since we're kind of talking about my life story,
Yeah.
I kind of want to segue into it like that.
Is that how you? Okay.
I
All
mean,
right, King of
perspective-
You know
Segues,
what?
go for it.
perspectives.
Like one of the reasons I've been flirting with that the idea of
A third
interview,
kid.
interview.
Oh.
Oh hell no. No offense to anybody that has 3 kids. But the idea of interviewing Jorge, because he's got a very interesting story, one that we know about, but we never talk about.
Yeah.
Do you know that? You know? Do you have one of those?
Yes.
Like in your family?
Yeah, but my family's not here. Your family is. Why don't you guys talk about it?
It's I don't know, man. It's a
Mexican
old
tradition. You
Mexican,
don't really
yeah,
talk
like this
about.
the old
Taboo.
Mexican way. Yeah, you just there's things you don't talk about, and which that's why we're trying to fix. You know
We're
that
trying to break the pattern.
we
Mm.
got to break it. It needs to be done.
Starts
That's one of the
here.
reasons why I told you. That's one of the reasons why I started this. You know, because we
Yeah.
want to come in and talk about it. Unfortunately, not too many of my family members want to come in, but they will. Okay,
I'll be the
so
first.
you're gonna be you're gonna be the
And
one
I'm
that
coming. I'm
Coming in strong.
breaking the floodgates open.
Are we?
Coming in hot.
Dude,
Yeah.
let's get
All right.
started.
Yeah.
I got
Alright.
my notes right here,
George, in 1990. Jorge, my
Yeah.
bad.
dude. Get it right, bro.
I know.
Call him. Hey, he'd rather call you. You
Me
call him the
llamo-
filter
Me llamo
fish.
Jorge.
The filter fish. So you were born in 1990.
Yeah.
Yes,
Where
sir.
were you born?
America, baby.
America.
America.
Were you,
I
were you
had the
born?
luxury.
Were you born here in the area? Covina?
LA, General Hospital, because
Yeah.
it's free.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's free.
General Hospital.
So I don't know if we said it. Well, we said family, but he's my cousin, right? So
Yes.
Jorge, my cousin.
On paper, yes. Real life is more like a brother.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we get into all that, that's funny you said that because one day my sister said, I thought Fidel and Andres were the only brothers.
Yeah.
Because she always saw pictures of you,
Yeah,
and I had to
I'm
kind of break it down to her, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and
The
she goes,
untold
"But-"
story.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is the
Well,
untold
so
story.
check it out. So, like the first 3 years, I'm gonna give him a little rundown, and then
Go
you can
ahead.
just come.
Yeah.
We'll go back to it, right?
Yeah.
So, really quick, synopsis. Is that it? You say
I don't know
something?
what that is, but
Is
go
it a
ahead.
synopsis?
Sinatra?
Synopsis is when you get like the end result of when somebody gets like a medical synopsis. Synopsis is when they diagnose somebody and it's the breakdown of it. But go ahead.
I didn't say
Oh,
that.
I didn't know what that was. I thought you were talking about the singer Frank Synopsis.
No,
Sinatra.
No,
Oh.
Sinatra. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Anyways, so for the first 3 years, George was with us in our house. All right, so he was our cousin, right?
Yes.
So now let's go back to in 1990. How old was I?
I don't know. That's a question for you.
I'm not good at
I
math.
was 0.
1981.
That's how old I was.
9?
9. I was 9. Damn,
What
I guess
year were you
so.
born?
81.
81.
So you were 9.
9 years old. So at 9 years old, I have a little brother. Or I have a
10.
cousin.
Technically, no. You were 10.
10.
Yeah, you were 9 because I was born
July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I was 9. Fuck it. What? I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
9.
10 and under.
Who cares? You were about
9.
You're
9,
15. Go ahead.
20. So 25 years old,
Yeah,
right?
all right.
My aunt, who I had never met before.
You're lying. Well, that's all right. She lived in Mexico.
I've never been to Mexico.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why.
I had never met her.
Okay.
So to an aunt I never met, my dad's sister, she comes to stay with us, and she's pregnant. All right, cool. So she's with us, and she, she ends up having, giving birth to this fine gentleman here,
Jorge.
And so they're staying with us for I think 3 years. No,
No,
no.
way less than that.
Jesus
right?
Christ. So when did your mom took off? And I have my notes here. Mom be gone.
Yeah.
Your mom
Left.
she took off.
She was like, "See ya."
She left a note and she's like, I'm out of here. I'm going back to Mexico. Do you know
Yeah, I know.
what
I know.
was it a
more of
year?
Just to harp on it, like how my name is. Your mom, my tia, named me.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she was like, name him George after Jorge, an actor.
Some actor.
Yeah.
She named my brother Andres after an actor, Andres Garcia. Shout out to Andres Garcia, Uña de Gato.
So
Yeah, the gato.
and I remember it was funny because during this just happened too, and you were like, "¿Por qué?" And she was like, "Porque era mío."
That was recently.
Yeah.
Don't you find that kind of weird?
No, I knew what she was. Me and her had a conversation about everything.
Why would that be weird?
Okay, hold on. It's not weird?
No.
Because she knew that my mom was here to leave me and go back.
If
And
she
they-
had
and-
that,
and-
if she
but
had
see,
that,
That's where, as a 10-year-old, me, I'm just like, dude, his mom just left.
Even now, as a whatever-year-old, President Fidel was like, "Why would you name him?" She's like, "Because era mío. He was gonna be mine."
Yeah. So there's a lot of
That's deep.
there's a lot of unanswered questions, okay? And that's because, like we were just talking about it, Mexicans, we don't talk about shit. We just sweep shit under the rug.
yeah.
Okay? I'm 37 years old. This is getting deep. I'm 37 years old, and I'm just now finding out things from that parents are
Hiding, or not hiding, but just not acknowledging.
occulting.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
I was trying to get fancy and use a big word.
That's a big word.
It's all right.
It's
But
a small
that's
word,
that's
but
the perfect
it has
word.
depth.
We're here.
Okay?
We're here.
So at 37 years old, I'm just now finding shit out like that.
Yeah.
All right? Anyways, we'll go back to that.
All right.
So this guy, she leaves. But how old were you though?
0. I don't know.
You were like what, 2-3 months? No,
Yeah.
because she was breastfeeding and all
Yeah,
that.
Where's the pen?
maybe.
So
All I know is for the first 3 years of my life, you were my brother.
yeah,
Your mom, my tia, your dad, my uncle were my mom and dad. And I don't know if I want to skip over 3 years like that because I have zero memory.
right.
You guys know more than me because you were 10. But I remember my sibling coming over, my real blood brother coming over, and he was trying to use my tricycle. And I remember saying,
That's in Mexico?
Here,
Here.
your house,
Okay.
the house that we grew up in.
Yeah.
And I was upset as throwing a child tantrum, like, why is this kid using my tricycle?
Yeah.
And then your mom, my tia, my mom too, pulls me to the side. Is like, "Ese es tu hermano, that's your brother.
Yeah.
Let him use it." And I was like,
What the hell?
yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, el Fidel es mi hermano. El Andrés es mi hermano.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, él también. Y también ellos dos. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then that's the day I found out I was leaving.
Damn. Yeah.
Going back to Mexico.
to Mexico.
Well, super blurry for me. I remember, I do remember going back. That was 3 years old.
Yeah.
I remember going, like riding. So my stepdad was a cop, and we would drive around in the back because cops over there, they have trucks.
Mm-hmm.
So he would take us in the truck and drive around, and we're like, oh, I mean, I was like, obviously I'm disoriented as fuck.
Yeah.
I get plucked from my family to go live with this family, and I'm sure you guys spoke to me in English.
Well,
And
yeah.
I remember my mom told me like it was hard for me to talk to you because you mostly spoke English.
Well, you only understood it, and you were learning English.
Yeah,
You know, we hardly spoke to him in Spanish. You know,
yeah. And you guys were basically raising me because my uncle and my aunt, they
both
were working.
Yeah.
So Sandra was like my mom,
Yeah.
and she was speaking to me in English.
Mhm.
So I remember her telling me like, "No, batallé contigo, no sabías nada de español."
Yeah.
I mean, she might have been exaggerating, but
She struggled with him because he didn't speak any,
Right.
Yeah.
any English
Yeah.
or
she-
Spanish.
Yeah,
I understand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So yeah, she was
SAP,
like,
but-
it was kind of hard. And the way me and her bonded is like she had my youngest sibling, So she started breastfeeding me, and then
Are we using names?
Marisol,
Oh, yeah.
my youngest sister.
Oh, okay, I don't know if we wanted
Yeah,
to.
I mean, is a
So we can do shout outs to them?
shout out to them if they learn English and they pick up a book or something and they learn how to. I mean,
Yeah.
actually, she has a degree, but
Yeah.
Spanish, Mexican degree. You know, it's not really worth it. It's interior design. She makes doll houses.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. But so I'm over there, and I remember going to kindergarten,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden we're again in America, and me and my brother in the same grade because of his year, at the year he was or the month he was born in.
Yeah.
And then I remember
Your brother Aaron.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, Aaron, aka Burras. We all have nicknames.
Burras?
Burras.
Donkey?
Yeah, he was a fighter. I'll bring that up later on. I
Okay.
guess. Since we're going, it's kind of like a chronicle of my life, right?
All right.
So I'm gonna tell you what I remember vaguely. So years 1, 2, 3, I spent here. 5, 6 out there. Or no, I'm sorry.
4, 5, 6.
4 or 5 out there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then I finished half of 6th grade or 1st grade here, and then we went back to Mexico. And from there on out, I have full memory. Here they were blurry. I remember my stepdad would beat my mom, and then my oldest brother, and he would throw up blood, and I remember washing it off with the hose in the back of the apartment.
Why would he throw up blood?
Because he was getting punched in the stomach by a grown man.
That'll do it.
I thought you said your mom was getting beat up.
Oh, everybody was getting their asses beat.
Oh.
Because he would try to intervene, and he was like, "Bitch, you get it too."
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So he would get his ass whooped, and then we would like clean off his blood. And then so my mom was like, when we left to America, we were on the bus, and I remember it was my brother's birthday. Tito, oldest brother, he was the one that intervened. We were washing his blood off.
Yeah.
And I remember he was like, upset because all we had to eat was Vienna sausages,
Yeah.
like the little ones in the cans.
Right.
And then he was like, "Pero es mi cumpleaños." It's like, it's my birthday. Like, we should be celebrating.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm super disoriented. I was living here. I'm living there. I'm going back and forth. Now all I know is that I'm in a bus. I'm hungry and I'm eating something. So I'm not upset.
Yeah.
So I was eating something.
Yeah. Right.
At this point, I'm in survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not like my mom, my brother, my sister. I'm like, oh, we're in a bus now. We're eating. Okay, cool. Let's go. That's where my mind's at.
And you're still 6, 7 years old. You're not really thinking about
I'm surviving.
Right.
I'm surviving. I'm winning.
Yeah.
We have Vienna sausages. I'm eating them.
Yeah.
I didn't like think about it like, oh, it's his birthday. Oh my God, why aren't we like having cake and shit like that? I'm just like, all right, cool. We're on our way. We're on a bus. People would throw up. They would have phlegm bags. People get sick,
Mm-hmm.
and they have phlegm bags, and they just fill them up with phlegms, and they throw them on the floor bus.
Oh.
To give you a fucking some description of what you saw. And then we get there eventually. The first day we land there, we have like a huge backyard.
Yeah.
We go to my grandma's house. Your dad, my uncle, he planted like 40 of these mango trees,
Mm-hmm.
and they were still there, fruitful, and there's like a bunch of other trees, avocados, there's like little orange trees, lemons, limas, just a bunch of different trees. And I remember like my grandma was like, "Cabrones, ya vienen a vivir aquí, well, tienen que limpiar." The first day there, so I just see the biggest plant, and I just start going after it with the hoe.
Yeah.
And then that was one of her favorite plants. I don't know. She said, "You guys got to get rid of all the greens." So I'm like, "We're getting to work now."
Yeah.
So I just took down the whole plant, and then she was upset about it. "Oh, pendejos no saben hacer
She
nada."
fuck you up too?
Oh, grandma used to get.
Grandma used to fuck everybody up.
us.
Man.
Well, my mom was working.
Yeah.
She was basically taking care of us.
Right.
3 boys and a girl.
Yeah.
We were getting our asses whooped.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
May she rest in peace.
Oh, R.I.P. Yeah. She lived a long life.
Yes, she did.
87.
Yeah.
And so we lived there, and then now I'm going to school. And we didn't have a lot of money. we didn't have a lot of money, so my mom, what she did, she figured out a way to get us to this place called Casa Escuela,
Mm-hmm.
and this place,
Like a little schoolhouse.
yeah, it's like so. The place where we grew up is Sinaloa.
Shout out to Sinaloa.
So
Sinaloa.
Cosala,
Everybody's always claiming it now.
yeah,
Like all these people just claim it
yeah.
because that's where all the narcos
Yeah.
are at, you know?
See
They'll
some
claim
nice
it.
gold guns.
Yeah.
Not born, but for sure raised.
Yeah.
So I'm over there, and our municipio. So the breakdown is there's estados, municipios, and then so we are in a little municipio, which is more like a pueblo,
Yeah.
and we have 2 elementaries, 1 middle school, and 2 high schools. And so there's like ranches in the outskirts, like 2-3 hours away from these schools. So what they did, they made a development, called a place called Casa Escuela,
Yeah.
where all the like low income people or people who were far away from schools, they would put them there. They would house them there.
Like homeschools. Homeschool.
It's more like military school, boarding school.
Ooh.
You would spend Monday through Friday there, and you would go back. And
Oh,
if you're
shit.
really far away, you would spend the whole month there. So my oldest brother, he had epilepsy.
Mhm.
I was doing air quotes, but no, he really did have epilepsy.
Yeah. Why,
So-
so what was why
Well,
was he
so
up
that's why he
airports?
wasn't that's why he couldn't be in Casa Escuela. Although
Oh,
he
okay.
was upset, like he wanted to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we told him stories. He's like, fuck, next year I want to go. I'm like, my mom was like, no, pendejo, tienes. We called it malacate because we don't know medical terminology.
Yeah.
So we just say
Malacate?
malacate. Yeah, it's just a made up word.
What's that?
It's just a made up
It's
word.
just a made up word. It's just like,
Malacate.
"¿Qué tiene? Le está dando el malacate." Like he was just like doing weird motion. It's he's having an epileptic
Seizures, yeah.
seizure.
Malacate.
And now
Malacate.
that's what we just called it.
Kate is not a word?
Malacate is most likely not a word.
No, just kate is not a word?
Catre is like something you lay on.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So at this time, are you learning Spanish? Do you know Spanish?
I'm
Did you
fluent
pick
in
it up?
Spanish
You're
at that
fluent?
point.
Okay.
I don't even know English now.
Oh, okay.
So at this point, I'm in 3rd grade.
Okay.
That is when I bring up Casa Escuela. So that's me and my youngest sister, because she's a girl,
Mhm.
she wasn't gonna go to Casa Escuela. So my oldest brother and my youngest sibling, my sister Tito and Marisol, they're not going
Yeah.
to Casa Escuela. So me and my brother, we're in the middle. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are going off Monday through Friday, and I mean, we leverage this a lot. We call them nos manda para el orfanato, like they send us to the orphanage. But we had a blast there.
Yeah.
It was dope. I actually really liked it. But the first 2 years, like that's from I mentioned earlier, my brother's nickname, his name was Burras,
Yeah.
because he was a fighter. Like people, like we were from the pueblo, we were from rancho, so you can tell the way we speak. Like,
Yeah.
oh, estos güeyes son de pueblo, ¿por qué están aquí? They'd get upset, like, why are they here?
Yeah.
So people would pick fights all the time, and then I'm like, I mean, I'm skinny as shit right now, but imagine me as a kid.
Right.
I was malnourished and shit.
Yeah.
So my brother was like, he would stick up for me, so he'd get in a lot of fights. And
Yeah.
then he was like, I remember one time he was fighting 2 dudes off, and then the little brother came over and he kicked them. And ever since then, he was burras,
Yeah.
because female donkeys kick a lot.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it can't just be burra. It has to be plural, burras.
Oh, shit.
It sounds better.
Yeah. Yeah.
My oldest brother name was Perras.
Why was it perros?
Because when you're good at something, they call you, oh, este güey es un perro.
Okay.
But because he was good at everything, he was Perras.
Oh.
So,
Ese carro está bien perras.
ese güey es un
Yeah.
perro. Es
Sí.
una perra con perritos chihuahueños is what they would say, which is, it's a female dog who just gave birth to a litter. I know,
Dude, the way they talk.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a whole nother language.
Ese
man.
güey
Yes.
es una perra con perritos chihuahueños.
Yeah.
That's what they would say
Yeah.
about my brother. So we were there. The first 2 years were terrible. We would wake up at like early as shit in the morning, a few hours before. We would pay homage to the flag
Yeah.
Monday through Friday. The biggest one was that
You guys would sit through the whole song? It's
We
a
would
long ass song.
stand.
Stand through the whole song.
we would stand. We would sing the national anthem.
Mexicano solito de
De guerra. Whenever I
tierra.
say eres mexicano, digo yo al grito de guerra. And a lot of people don't get that, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
from the national anthem.
Right.
So
Salud.
I was just I'm taking her bath, but yeah, my
Yeah.
mouth is water.
No, it's all
I should
good.
probably be drinking water instead
Yeah.
of beer, but
It's. I mean, I tell you, it's a whole nother world out there, man.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
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 So the reason our mom finessed us in there is because we were dirt poor.
Yeah.
We didn't have any money. Like, we lived because my grandma had a lot of property, and my mom had a job just to get us food on the table. We didn't have really bills. My grandma had a phone bill, but I think she was getting money from people over here
Over here.
in America, like
Oh, okay.
her
Yeah,
sons,
yeah.
her sons and daughters.
Yeah, sons, daughters,
Sending
send her
money
money.
and
Yeah,
stuff,
Sending
right.
money because my grandma didn't work. My mom barely made enough money to feed us, so she knew a cook in there. She's like, mija, ¿por qué no los mandas para allá? Diles que son del Carrizo, de allá vienen todos. So she's like, oh, está bien, está buena la idea.
Yeah.
So eventually she sneaks us in, and then at this time I'm in 3rd grade. My aunt is our teacher. It was pretty cool. Cause
Emma.
Mi tía Emma, yeah. And we were in the casa escuela, and it was first 2 years were rough, and then we started getting to all the activities. And I remember by 6th grade, which is the last year I spent there in Mexico, I choreographed the whole dance, and it was pretty cool. But our cousin, his name is Danny.
Yeah.
He went over there to visit, and he had a Queen CD, and we stole that shit. It was dope. We're like, you fucked up. We're gonna take this. So we stole it, and then another one, Bites the Dust, and We Will Rock You. Like, I choreographed the whole dance. Me and my best friend and my brother, we did a dance.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, they would do like this blowout festival, like celebration end of the year.
Yeah.
And then the girls did one and the guys did one, and I mean, I always wanted to dance and shit like
Yeah.
that. I thought I was like a fucking, in my head, what got me through those years is like, I'm American. Like all
He
the
was
struggle,
The token child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the struggle that I went through in my life, like I would just be like, man, I'm American. Like, fuck this shit. It's funny.
Yeah.
And now it's funny because I kind of flipped the script. I'm like, shit, I grew up in Mexico. Anything to just kind of like
Yeah.
get through the day. Or
That's
with-
crazy though, because I remember
hard
when
time.
you came back. Now we'll get to that, but when you came back, one of the songs, like I would play, the music that I would play was Queen a lot, right? Because I liked it too.
Yeah.
And this guy was like, he didn't understand any of it that we were playing, but for whatever reason, when those Queen songs came on, he was singing to him,
Yeah.
And we're like, what the fuck? How did he know that? But now it makes sense, dude. It's
Yeah.
because of that. You got that's the one CD that they just kept
Brown,
playing
a brown
over and over.
CD.
Yeah, I don't
That's how
know what it
remember.
was.
A brown
Yeah,
CD.
probably. But I had it, and I know I played it, and I was like, that's the one song that he can sing along to.
Yeah, I thought he was saying another one, Paisa Das.
Paisa.
Paisa
Paisa
Das.
Paisa?
I don't know. I mean, for the longest time in my life, I would call all cereal con flakes.
Oh, but yeah.
And then I remember I got here and I was asking like, tía, ¿no tenemos con flakes? No, pero si hay
Cereal.
Cheerios. Hay Cheerios.
Oh, Cheerios, yeah.
Digo yo, pues si tienen con flakes, ¿por qué me dice que no? Like, oh, no tenemos cornflakes. I was like, pero si tienen, ahí lo estoy mirando.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, no, esos son Cheerios. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a difference. Like,
Yeah.
to us Mexicans, cornflakes was just all cereal.
All
It-
cereal. Wow.
Yeah, we use the word. Yeah.
Instead of cereal. But is that because of the Pueblo thing? Because I know, like,
It's,
in like,
it's a Pueblo thing.
Yeah.
We're super educated, which is why I kind of wanted to touch back on my tía, because her vocabulary was beautiful. Like, we would go to her house and she said, no digan patas, son pies. She would
Right.
correct
oh,
everything.
yeah.
And we were like, like,
No
my
digas
mom-
hocico.
hocico, no es hocico. No digas jeta. Like,
Yeah,
no, es boca.
yeah.
I was like, okay, fuck. And because of her, like, around adults, I can carry myself as a, a proper speaker.
And then plus, because you're American.
And I'm an American. Yeah.
So bring us back to America.
All right. There's actually a story you guys should hear. So before we left, my brothers were like, man, we should go to Mazatlan.
Yeah.
And so Mazatlan's like a touristy place. It's 2 hours away from where I grew up. And I remember we didn't have any money. So what we would do often, we would steal money from our grandma. It's just something people would, obviously we did. We got our asses whooped about it. But
Yeah.
200 pesos goes a long way.
Yeah.
And then we had saved up money because I had a little job. I did errands for an old lady. And then my brothers, we would go we would pass out newspapers,
Yeah.
and then at the end of the day, we just realized we could just go in the back and burn them all, hang out, and then go back and be like, yeah, ya lo repartí, and they give us money for it. Like, fuck, we got a hustle here. So
Stay warm and make money.
yeah, well, we had a lot of trash, so we would do our chores. We would,
Yeah.
back there, you just burn trash. That's
Yeah.
what you did with trash. That was the ignition. So we gather up a little money, just enough for the hotel.
Yeah.
And then prior to that, actually, we had neighbors. We would rent out. So my grandma had 3 properties. She lived on one of them. We lived in another one. And the one next to it, she rented out. And there's some church people there.
Yeah.
And the year before that, this two men rented it out, and they ran a church congregation out of it. One of them was a saved man who was a known criminal. And then, so we went to Mazatlan with him, and all we did was get my brother arrested because he stole pants.
Pants.
We
Okay.
went to Walmart.
Yeah.
Dad at Walmart, we're like, what the fuck?
shit.
Walmart. So he stole pants, but he didn't know about the
Yeah.
beeping thing, and it beeped, and then my mom ended up going up. But what I saw when I was out there was like, wait, you can just ask for money and people give it to you? So in my head, I'm like, miren, cabrones, ustedes agarran dinero para el hotel, yo me encargo de lo demás, right?
Yeah.
So what I was, in my head, I'm like, I'm going to just go ask for money.
Yeah.
So I fucking just went out in my regular clothes, which is, to them, like, he's a peasant.
Yeah.
And I'm over here, oh, me da dinero pa comida. I never ate so many fucking hot dogs in my life. But I think this is why I don't like them today.
Yeah.
But a lot of people would give me money, and a lot of people would just buy me hot dogs. We came up with a bunch of money, like at least 100 pesos, which it was enough to stay there for 2 days. The second night we were there, my brother had a seizure. So I fucked up everything.
Yeah.
Because we were like hanging out in the hotel. He was drinking beers, I think. I don't even know how I got him, but he must have been like middle school.
Yeah.
He was drinking beers, trying to get us to drink, but we're like, nah, what the fuck? Like, that shit tastes gross. So we're all sharing a bed, and I remember I was in the middle. I was the smallest one.
Yeah.
And I just feel like being pushed, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I just throw like 3 hard elbows,
Yeah.
and I hear the noise, the malacate noise.
The malacate.
He's seizing up,
Yeah.
and I'm like, fuck. So every time he would have a seizure, we would just panic. We would run out and panic. Tito, se está muriendo Tito. Like, that was always
'Cause
our
you didn't
reaction.
know-
We
yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
he was going to live or not.
Right.
It wasn't even diagnosed.
Yeah.
So, luckily there was, okay. So we were the only ones having a hard night, because all you would hear is people crying and somebody getting raped maybe in the room next. But you would just hear, like, this was not a pretty hotel.
Yeah.
But, like, when we got him to the Baiburina, is what they call a taxi over there.
Yeah.
Like, take us to the cheapest hotel. He's like, say no more. Dropped us off. I think it was like 50 pesos a night, which is dirt cheap.
Yeah. That equates to like what, $5?
Now,
Well,
I mean,
now,
back
man,
then, I
yeah.
don't know. It was like, I was in 6th grade. I had to be 12, 13. That's 15 years back.
Yeah.
So, 50 pesos went back a long way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we would hear people crying, and then he seized up, and we ran into the hotel room. And we ran out of the hotel room, and there was a hospital up the street. He gets IV'd, we leave, and we're like, fuck, this is a bust, let's go back.
Yeah.
And that was our trip to Mazatlan. But I begged for money, and I got good money. I was like, man, there's a hustle over here. It's
Yeah.
crazy. But I remember doing that. It was kind of fun.
Easy money.
It was the easiest money ever. There was people out there juggling and
Yeah.
like drinking fucking gasoline and blowing out fire. I'm over here like, me da dinero para comer, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, it worked.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So
Then
wild.
I came to America, so you were saying.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So was it just you or your family, your
It
brothers?
was just me. I was the only one born
Well,
here.
you know what, he doesn't remember coming back and staying out here. Or wait, no, that was when you did go back, and then you guys came back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So when you came back that second time,
Uh-huh.
that's what you're referring to.
It was just by yourself.
It was by
By
himself.
yourself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like again, 3 years we had him, and then he was out there doing his thing with his family,
Right.
and then I think you're 12 years old when they said, all right, George, he's got to come back to you guys. Now here's the thing.
Honestly, in my head, I thought I asked about.
Was that what it?
Because I remember, in my memory, I don't know if this is correct, but I remember every birthday, I would get a call from you guys.
Yeah.
And you guys would ask me, do you want to come back?
Mhm.
And I would always say no. In my head, this is how I always tell a story because this is how I remember it.
Yeah.
Mijo, ¿te quieres regresar? I was like, no, I love Mexico. That was how I felt.
Yeah.
And then when I was 12, I realized like people that I was going to school with were getting plucked out of school because they could carry a shovel and they can do work. I was like fucking 50 pounds, if that. I don't know. I was tiny. So I couldn't get any work that these people could work and make money, contribute, and help out, you know? I didn't have the ability. I was tiny. Excuse me. So I consider myself a smart kid. I was like, fuck it, I'll go to America. I can learn English and, you know, go to school. I mean, after all, I got papers.
Right.
So at 12, I think that's the 1 year they didn't ask if I wanted to come. So I asked if I could come. And I remember they're like, oh, you got to talk about it. And then I was like, oh, my God. Like, they ask every year.
Yeah.
And this year they said, hang on a minute. And then I think I heard, even obviously I'm here now. So the answer was yes, but I was like, oh, my God, I'm not even going to, like, go back.
Yeah.
And then
They don't want me back.
Yeah, but you should tell.
Well,
me
no. Well, so, I mean, so this is the one thing I had just told them recently, not even a month ago. You know, we were hanging out here, and I told him, God's honest truth. I had never told him this story, and when my mom, it was probably when you called and you're like, I want to come back or something. She said, hold on. She asked everybody, all my siblings, you know, my dad, my siblings. She asked them, hey, do you guys want George to come back? Do you guys want George to come back? And it was almost unanimous. Like, yes, 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 yes. And then they got to me, and now I'm already out of high school. You know, I'm
Out of high school?
I'm out of high school already.
Okay.
I might have been like 20 years old or something like that. You know, 19, 20 years old. And they asked me, and I told them no. I was the only one that said no. So, why? You don't want your brother to come back? And I go, nah. He's been gone a long time. This is a whole. You guys have your hands full. You guys are done already.
Yeah.
You guys are done raising kids. You guys are. You know, that's it.
I mean, Vanessa was
She was already
in middle school.
Yeah, she was already.
No,
she was
about to go in high school.
She was about to go to high school already.
I
She
think
might have been a freshman.
sophomore or freshman.
Yeah. And I was like, no, you guys are done. You don't want to go back. It's like, you know, and plus you guys don't know what he picked up, the habits that he picked up over there.
Yeah.
This is just me.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
Thinking logically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being
You were like, oh, it's little baby Georgie. Like, he's
so
12.
everybody remembers a 3-year-old.
It's
you know?
12 in Mexico.
Yeah.
He was begging money a week ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, obviously we didn't know about that, but
Yeah.
so I was the only one that said no, and you know, obviously
Majority rules.
So he was here, and I wasn't like a dick to him or anything like that.
Nah.
When he came cool. All right, fuck it, you know. But we'll make the best of it. I'll help out with whatever I can. Which I thought I introduced you to a couple of cool things, you know, like probably made him who he is now.
My wide vernacular of vocabulary.
Wow.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah.
Thanks to me.
Was
All right.
him talk radio.
Talk radio.
Talk radio.
That's probably talk radio. Not so
Tom
much.
Watkins.
Not so much me.
Yeah, but
Tom
I
Watkins.
remember saying like she's, and these fools would crack up like cheese. He
She's.
fucking said cheese.
She's.
We live with the wet bag or some shit like that. So me, I'm like, fuck, I can't be speaking like this. I gotta cross my T's and dot my I's, you know.
Yeah.
So
That was when Eminem came out with his.
oh my goodness.
And this guy he kept singing to Eminem songs, like, but he was singing, he was butchering all the songs.
Oh yeah.
But it was cool because you know it was like
Yeah.
get to mess around with somebody.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I remember one of the greatest pieces of advice, which I never really got to use till I was like a sophomore in high school. You were like, if somebody calls you a wetback, just touch your back and be like, "We're talking about this dry."
Yeah, it's so stupid. But
That was your comeback?
yeah.
And to me, I was like, "Oh, I got him!" I was waiting for someone to hit me with it, and nobody came. Nobody. I mean, Covina people are pretty polite, except for the one time. I think Alice told you about this. I don't know. I was being bullied, but apparently I was because I used to sing, "I'm sorry, Mama."
That's the Eminem
Is
song.
That's her. I never meant to hurt you.
Jew.
Right?
Jew.
So that was my shit, right? So I remember like this kid, Aaron, his name is, they call him Nappy, but he was like, "Hey man, like come and hang out with us.
Yeah.
And then he took me to his group, and then he was like, sing that song. And now I was like, obviously I'm breaking this song, you know. But where I was from, like, I would perform in front of like, you know, 100 students or whatever. So I'm like, shit, 5 is nothing. Let's go.
I'm a performer.
Yeah. Right. And then I think your sister-in-law walks by, and I think you told me, hey, you can't be singing for people in school or something like that. Like,
no one's gonna give you money.
He's like, yeah. Not only that, but it was like, dude, they're bullying you.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned the term bully. I was like, what's a bully? Like, I mean, they're not beating you, but they're kind of using you as a joke. And I was like, what the fuck? Fuck those guys, you know? So when they came around, I was like, you want to sing Eminem? I was like, fuck you fools. I'm going to go play basketball with the Filipinos.
Yeah.
They were in my English class. I had 2 English classes when I came here. Yeah. And I remember sometimes I'd be a little dick. I mean, I was 12, and I was being a brat. And I remember they would always speak English.
Yeah.
They would always speak English. And I remember sometimes they speak Spanish, so I can hear them, and I was like, man, that's bullshit. Like, they're speaking Spanish so I can hear them and I can calm down. But I'm like, on a second thought, I think I should calm down.
Yeah.
Because I'm not.
It wasn't easy, dude. Like, he's 12 years old, so you know.
Yeah.
Again, the first 3 years are some of the worst years for a kid, right? When you're raising a kid,
Right.
you know, all this, you know, he's learning to be himself, you know,
Right.
you know, getting that character or building that character, and then you get him at the 12-year-old.
So
he's just
basically
rebelling.
got the worst.
So we got the worst.
Holy
but,
shit! I never thought about it like that, but you got the worst.
Yeah. Well, see, I got a kid now, and I kind of, you know, you kind of know.
Yeah.
But those are the things that were going in my mind when I was telling them, like, it's not you know, not the best idea, you know, to take him back. And then, you know, what they told me, hey, it's George, you gotta have him back. All right, I get it. You know, of course, you're not gonna turn him away, but
Yeah.
you asked me for my opinion, I gave it to you. To this day,
Right.
people ask for my opinion, I give it to them, and not a lot of people like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'll say, fuck it, I'll create a podcast, and then no one can tell me what to say.
Yeah.
But, you know, but yeah, so at 12 years old, it wasn't easy, you know, like it was growing pains for all of us,
Yeah.
you know, because we had just gone over it with Vanessa, and, you know, she wasn't a handful. This guy was, you know, he came to a whole nother world, dude. Or, you know, like, he was born here, but for the longest time, I mean, he had to learn English.
Yeah.
You know, he had to learn it, because
I didn't know it.
he didn't know it.
I knew a phrase. I came on vacation for Sandra's wedding.
Yeah.
And I learned the phrase, what are you talking about? I was like, what does that mean? Because I saw it in a movie, and the cadence in this man, the way he said it, I was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what does that mean? That sounds dope. So Vanessa was like, it means, what are you?
De que hablas.
De que hablas.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about? So I came with, what are you talking about? Table, teacher, and like a few basic things.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah.
I mean, so he picked it up quick, you know, like,
well, yeah,
English,
because your my uncle was like, mira, mijo, si en 6 meses no hablas bien, te vas a tener que regresar. He gave me an ultimatum, like, if you don't learn English, if you don't learn it, you're gonna have to go back. Cause now looking back at him, like, if you don't progress, like, obviously, like, it's, you know,
yeah,
why are we having here? Like,
it was either that, or we were gonna have to buy Inglés sin barreras.
you're lying.
You remember that shit, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, we never bought it. He learned quick. He picked it up real fast.
The Simpsons
Yeah.
and
Simpsons.
Talk Radio.
Talk radio.
Talk Radio.
Yeah, he had to learn the 10 Commandments.
10 Commandments.
So from 12 on till now, you've been here
I've been in America.
ever since.
My friends don't believe me I'm American. They're like, oh, we want to go to Mexico. Oh, shit, he might not come back. And I'm like, no, I was born here. I swear. I get taxes or all that stuff, you know, Social Security card.
Are you in contact with your family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never asked you that. How is your relationship with moms and your brothers?
And, you know, we talk sometimes.
Yeah. You have any resentment?
No. Surprisingly, I honestly don't.
Yeah.
Mostly because I didn't learn about it till, like, way late. Like, I mean, I remember I was already at the house.
Yeah.
I was living out on my own for like 2 years. And I came back to visit. I think it was like a day before my birthday. I was sick. So, my tia, your mom, she made some caldo de pollo.
Yeah.
And then we went to Costco. And then she started telling me the story. And I was like, oh shit, she was gonna give me away. And you were like, nah, fuck that, give him to me. Like, that's
Yeah.
your blood. Like, just keep him in the family. Like, no, I'm gonna give him away to a doctor or some shit like that. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
A doctor? I'm like, I mean, in my head, I'm like, see, my mom's dumb, man. I mean, I say that with all due respect, like, but she has a 3rd grade education. In her head, she was just gonna give me away to my dad's family because they had money.
Yeah.
So she was just trying to say, I'm gonna give him to his dad's family, to my grandma, which I met. Nice lady.
Mm-hmm.
She
You met out there when you were when you were out there?
She would come and visit me and give me money. I was like, this lady's dope.
Yeah.
I didn't know. My mom still wouldn't tell me. She was like, don't see that lady. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, that lady gives me money. I'm gonna go see her. You know, like, she gave me money for shoes, and I just kind of split it with all my brothers. Like, we got 20 pesos each. You know.
Nice. Did you ever meet your dad?
Never met him.
But he still stayed over there?
I don't know where he's at.
What about grandma?
Grandma was cool with me.
She never told you. She never talked to you about dad.
She would bring him up, but like I said, I was 10, 11. So I was like, and then I would go back to my mom, and she would kind of like brainwash me and be like, nah, don't see them. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm like, this lady's giving me money. Like, I'm going to keep a finger on that pulse. Whenever she comes around, I'm going to go around her, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But as far as
is she still surviving?
I don't think so.
Yeah, she probably not.
I don't think so.
Have you ever
Inquired
about
it?
Yeah. No?
Nah. I
Does-
mean,
doesn't-
I know his first name.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Right.
That's all I know.
I wonder.
Give him a shout out.
I would if we knew his last name.
Do you ever? Does it trip you out mentally?
Not really, because until I got to America, I never really had a father figure.
Right.
So to me, it was like, I didn't think about it. It was not like, and the only dude that was around would beat my mom. So I was like, fuck that fool.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it. So to me, it was like, I honestly, I mean, yeah, to be honest with you guys, I sometimes, I'm like, my dad, I'm like, I barely know his name.
Yeah.
I barely know his name. Like, if anything, I kind of feel bad I didn't like have a relationship with my grandma, because she came around.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, she was old already. So I never, you know, people go out the entirety of their lives without meeting their parents. Like, at least I got to grow up with my mom and my siblings.
Yeah.
That's why I look at it.
Right. You never know. I mean, this segment is brought to you by 23andMe. So if one day, just kidding. No, I'm just joking. But no, I mean, there is, ways of finding out if you wanted to,
I just never.
But it's like, for what, right?
Well, not only that, but I'm like, I don't think about it. Like, okay, where do I start, first of all?
Yeah.
My mom.
Is it important to you?
So, no.
That's a good
Yeah,
question.
see, that's it.
I'll tell you
That's what it is. There's no level
So,
of importance.
To go back like, I've seen my mom try to kill herself twice.
Yeah.
Dude, we were dirt poor, and she was like having trouble with everything else. She had, every single one of us is born by a different dad. I didn't know that till I was like way late. And I mean, my mom one time, we woke up one time crying to my mom's cries. Like, she was like crying, and I was like, why is she crying? Turns out she was drunk. My aunt's husband, my tia Emma's husband, had said something to her, like, she was dating some guy, and then like, no, ¿pa qué te fijas en esa mujer si tiene? This was like, in my world, like, I like the way it break down Spanish, the way he said it. It's like poetic, but it's super fucked up. He's like, tiene una astilla de cada palo. So when you have sex in Spanish, it's called a palo, right? So astilla is what it's what do they call that? Astilla?
It's a splint.
No.
Isn't it a splint? Or a thorn.
No, it's when you touch wood and you get
Splinter?
a splinter. Oh.
That's what I said.
Oh, so you
splint
said
is something
Splint's
else.
when you like bind your hand with wood. Sorry.
Oh.
But
Splinter.
so a
Master
splinter.
Splinter.
So a splinter, right? So he said, tiene una astilla de cada palo. So basically saying that every time she fucked, like, she had like a kid.
Yeah.
And I mean, now thinking about
That
it,
is poetic.
yo, that's
That is
fucking
it.
rough. But at the same time, he can be a rapper though. I'm like, that's to me, like, I don't know. So I mean, she was crying about that, and I didn't know. Like my aunt ended up coming over and slapping her and shit. Like, and it's funny because like I didn't really drink till I was 23.
Yeah.
Mostly because my mom was like, well, I kind of lied because I remember one time I got drunk for my birthday.
Yeah.
Do you remember Ernesto came and
Yeah.
drew a dick on his face or something like that? And I ran into the fucking.
They drew it on me though.
They drew it on you?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I knew somebody got a dick drawn on their face.
Yeah.
Was
That was
that-
you?
I passed out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was you?
It was in our front yard too.
Yeah, no, yeah, you did.
Yeesh.
We barbecued in our front yard.
Yeah. But other than that, I really have no temptation. Because what I saw, and my mom, the entirety of her life, she's like, fuck alcohol. Dude, you guys don't touch that. That shit turns the most purest people into like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And then I witnessed it from her. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, the person telling me this is like flipping out right now
Yeah.
on alcohol.
Right.
So, yeah. And I'm over here having a beer and tequila and water. Not a lot of water, more beer and tequila.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm 28, make my own life decisions.
Yeah. Right.
No, but
They say the brain isn't fully developed until 25. So
Is that what they say?
yeah,
Yeah.
man. That's when I
Right.
first had my first puff.
the frontal cortex, which is like the most important thing, but that's for cognitive and decision making.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, you did it right.
Yeah. At 25, I was like, all right, I bought my house, safety of my own home. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Got high.
I was 15.
15. Yeah, I waited. I waited.
Yeah, I didn't really touch it until I was 23. I smoked weed before I drank. Well, till I was like, you know, alcohol's not that bad. But for the longest time, I didn't really mess with it.
Drugs or
Yeah,
marijuana.
I've only done psychedelics. I've only done mushrooms, weed, and that's it. And alcohol. I have an addictive personality. I don't trust myself like that.
You still do mushrooms?
I did it once.
Oh, once.
One was like a proper dose. Everything else was like a cap and a stem. Nothing
Yeah.
to really like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But one time it was, I did it. I was like, wow.
I remember one time, dude, I was driving from work or to work, either one. But
on mushrooms?
I was on the stems only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm driving and I see somebody at the bus stop just kind of rolling, right?
Oh shit.
Rolling at the bus stop right there in front of my mom's house. Well, on the side of the
Was
house.
it me?
Oh, okay.
It was on
Was it
Irwindale.
me? Was
So
it me?
this guy, he didn't remember. So I went and made a U-turn and I pulled up next to him. I'm like, dude, you couldn't walk down the street that way? My mom could look through the window.
It was you.
It was me.
And then he's like, what? You know, because he was waiting for the bus because he
Yeah.
wasn't going to go, I don't know,
Was it-
school.
there
I
was
think you
a-
were going to school, Mount Stack.
Oh yeah.
That was when you were going to school.
Yeah, I would.
And he was rolling. He was just rolling right there, just like, dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun. This
Yeah.
is, it wasn't legal, bro.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if a cop passes
was-
by,
To
hey,
be honest with you, that's the spot where I would like to smoke weed.
right there in that bus stop, right?
Yeah.
On our window,
Yeah.
in front of the gas station.
I think you should have this man on. He's a teacher now. He just got his master's, Leo.
Yeah.
Me and him would meet up at that bus stop and just smoke all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Leo got his master's?
Yeah.
On what?
English.
Really?
He's the English
Rolling.
teacher.
Leonidas?
Leonidas Cruz.
Leonidas.
His name's Leonidas?
Yeah.
That's hard.
It's too,
That's hard.
Yeah.
man. He
Yeah,
goes-
so
he
you
goes
went to
by
Mount Sac?
I went to Mount Sac.
For what?
Still going to Mount Sac. Yeah. So I changed my major like 1,000 times, but when he caught me rolling something is because I was balls deep in the
Something.
sign. Well, marijuana, obviously. But I don't know if it was the G. Oh, it was mostly a blunt because I don't really like
Balls deep in
chase.
who?
Sign language.
Oh, okay.
So because somebody took me, I had just started smoking weed, and then somebody was like, "Hey, you want to go to a deaf party?" I'm like, "The fuck, no."
Yeah, it's real
Yeah.
quiet.
Like, no, dude. They're like, no, this is how they. All right, that's one misconception. Right?
Okay. All
So
right.
they're like, dude, no, everybody has medical cards. Like, what? Let's go. So we went, and then, we pull up, and I hears music, and I'm like, fuck, you tell me this is a deaf party? And I see people dancing. I'm like, so first you're like, no, like deaf party feel the
They
deaf
feel the
people
beat.
feel the vibration. They dance.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I'm like, you're fucking lying. I go in, people are dancing. I was like, it's fucking true.
Yeah.
And then what got me was I saw a man sign to another man through a glass door, and I was like, that's cool. They
Yeah.
were communicating through fucking barriers.
Right.
And I was like, that's cool.
Oh, that's a cool way to look at it.
And
Yeah.
then obviously I was faded. That was my mentality. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
whoa, they're talking through walls. you know?
Yeah.
But obviously I have the vocabulary to articulate it now. But yeah, so I kind of took sign 1, and I had an A in the class, but I was late to my class because it was a 7:30 class, and I fucking failed because I was late to my final. So I'm like, fuck that. I might take this class again and ace it again, and I did, and then I kind of fell in love with it. And the reason why I kept doing it is because I already took sign 1, and I got a B, so it means I did my shit.
Yeah.
So taking it over, it was a refresher, and I was like, the professor would use me as an example, so it was like flattering. It played to my vanity. I was like, oh shit, I'm good at something.
Yeah.
So I just stuck through it, and I became fluent. Keep in mind, I was high the entire time.
Yeah.
So now every time I alter my state of consciousness, like I'll just sign, because every Thursday night in Brea they would have a thing called Deaf Night, and in class they
Deaf
give
Comedy Jam.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. No.
something
No.
else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deaf Night for deaf, emphasis on that.
Deaf.
Ooh.
See how it fades away like the deaf.
Yeah.
Anyways, so so every Thursday night they would have a Deaf Night in Brea, and I would get off of work on Thursday night at 10 because I would get off at 11, and then I would drive over there, smoke a blunt, and then talk to my professors and all my colleagues, my classmates.
Yeah.
Not talk, but sign.
Right.
So in the classroom setting, yeah, you learn the structure, you learn the words, but you don't learn it until you apply it, and like you're in a setting, you're communicating.
Just
That's-
like almost any other language, though,
Yeah.
right?
And
Yeah.
that's the thing, like, my entirety of my life, I would hear people say, oh, I don't speak English, I don't speak Spanish, but I can understand. I'm like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Like, okay, yeah, you're raising your hand at me. And for the longest time, I was like, that's bullshit. And then I was in sign 3. I
Yeah.
could understand it, but I didn't have the mechanics. So, like, my hand fluidity wasn't there.
Yes.
And like the tongue and the inflection of the voice. When I speak English, I speak different when I speak Spanish. When I speak Spanish, I'm way louder.
Yeah.
I speak from the gut. When I speak English, because of the accent, I don't want to sound wrong. Like
You're just confident. in your
I
Spanish.
I speak from the throat and not from my gut,
Right.
which is weird to me. But that's why people say I'm soft spoken, which I am when I speak English. But if I'm speaking Spanish, I'm speaking from down here in my gut.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even know why I started talking about sign. Oh, because you caught
Yeah,
me rolling
sign.
a blunt.
Sign,
yeah,
You caught me
yeah.
rolling a blunt on the bus stop.
Yeah. No, I always thought that was cool that this guy, he did sign and he was
I think
really
it's
good
so
at it.
cool.
But I'm a little disappointed that he didn't continue it. But hopefully, maybe he can take up on it again. But I think
Do you still know it?
I'm fluent, dude.
You're
Yeah.
fluent?
I'm
I think
fluent.
that's awesome, dude.
so. We were at some park. Maybe it was a family reunion or
That's
something.
right. It was a
and-
family reunion.
Yeah, family reunion. And then I seen these people. They were just like going at it, dude. Like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Gang signs.
And I was like, dude, they're fucking having a fight right now. And then
I
this
was
guy
like,
goes, nah.
I just tell a story.
I think he said, nah, they're looking for so and so because they lost some or something
Oh,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
There was like a group of deaf people, and he's like, nah, they're just. I'm like, fuck, dude. It looked like they're going at it, like they're fighting,
Very
dude.
animated.
Very animated. And I was like, damn. And then this guy, I forgot for just a second. I was trying to be funny, and then this guy goes, nah, they're just looking for Tony.
Normal.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I
Normal.
was like, oh fuck.
That's kind of like the Armenian language. I have
How's
some
that?
Armenian neighbors, and they're yelling at each other like crazy.
Oh yeah.
And oh shoot, they're getting into it deep. They're
Yeah.
arguing, and they're probably just saying, "I love you. Have a good day." See you
Right?
later."
Yeah.
Passionate people.
Yeah.
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 I love sign language, dude. I actually wanted to learn it.
It's never too late.
No, it's not. I still have a study guide. I have a book and all that stuff. And
I gave all my books away to one of my friend's cousins because he was learning. I was, dude, you can take my books, watch the DVDs. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But you're right about the fluidity of the hands.
Yeah.
Like,
So
it's
they
like
have
you have to break
Yeah.
your hands into.
they have they have exercises like assign homework assignments. You have to log X amount of hours for like, all right, citizens. They're gonna say a word and you spell it out. So
Mm.
there's a not only that, but there's 3 classes alone on the people
Yeah.
you're gonna be interpreting for. Like, so there's deaf culture, deaf perspective, and there's deaf structure, which is more about the language. But it's like they teach you how like they've been persecuted against, and like how people weren't allowed to sign, and
yeah.
just like Spanish or Mexicans weren't allowed to speak Spanish.
right.
Like, they have a lot of like, so they're trying to branch away from, because there's a thing called C sign, where just like, all right, since we have video here, right? So the sign for marriage is this, right? That's the sign for marriage.
Yeah.
So the sign for divorce is it used to be this, but now it's this, because they're trying
Oh, okay. So
because see, this is a D, right?
yeah.
So they're trying to branch away from like C sign, which is like you see the sign.
Yeah.
So this is used to be a divorce, and now it's this, like married, unmarried.
Yeah.
So they're trying to detach, because for the longest time, they wanted to like accommodate for the hearing, if you will. That's what they call us, the hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Semi.
Some of us
people.
are normal. Some of us aren't.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
the hearing.
Yeah.
Definitely the hearing.
Yeah.
I had a friend who learned sign, and
All I know is you're in and you're out.
he's
That's the only one
Yeah.
I
You
know.
got it right.
So
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
See?
yeah.
Boom.
And we were at Walmart and we had to ask the girl, and she was like, she was working there, but she's like, oh, I only know sign, and she told us in sign,
yeah.
and my friend lit up because she knew sign, and she's like, boom, this is my opportunity. I've
Yeah.
never seen it,
Dude, when
and she
you
got
see
to
somebody-
use it, and dude, it was amazing.
When
Yeah.
you see somebody,
cool.
I went to go see a UFC fight once, and I don't know if you guys know Kat Zingano. She used to
Yeah.
be an interpreter before.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and I wanted to get to her to sign to her, but she had a long ass line, and then they didn't let us get to sign her because of the wait time. They're like,
Yeah.
no, like the event's gonna start, so we're gonna usher everybody into the event. But while I was there, I met some deaf people. One deaf dude, and
Yeah.
we were in the line to meet Tony Ferguson,
Mm-hmm.
and we just were just signing. Because we're looking, my friends were looking at me like, "Oh, shit, you actually know?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I took some classes. Yeah, I'm fluent."
Yeah.
But it's like, I've always had affinity for language.
Yeah.
Cause like, this is something like you guys probably don't know, but my identity in Mexico was my ability to communicate and articulate things.
Yeah.
Mm.
So when I got here, I kind of lost that because I didn't have English.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to learn how to speak because this is who I am. I'm opinionated and I like to speak.
Right.
I didn't have it for a long time.
So you learn American Sign Language. Is there Spanish Sign Language?
Yeah,
Is
I
it-
actually so we hung out for for Dinah's birthday, right?
Yeah.
So my dad forgot some pots, so she's like, "Come with me." All right,
She
cool.
started smoking too?
No,
She got high.
no.
What?
We stopped over at a yard sale.
They're selling pot at a yard sale?
No,
You could do
Oh.
that.
Sometimes. I
They-
think now in
we
California you
pulled
can.
up.
Oh.
We pulled up at a yard sale,
Yeah.
and there's a deaf lady there,
Uh-huh.
but she knew Spanish sign language.
Uh-huh.
And we were kind of trying. I was like, she kept signing to me, and I was like, wait. Like, I'm like, you grew up in Mexico? She's like, yeah, Mexico. I was like, oh, like no wonder I don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
you speak different from me. And she was like, yeah. Like my husband, brother, he lives in Mexico, but he knows American Sign Language. She literally, like, this how people. You remember how your friend
Yeah.
got super excited?
Yeah.
It's like, so this dude was working out on a treadmill,
Yeah.
and she's like, talk to him. She's like later. I'm trying to work out.
Yeah.
But that's how, like, cause
The excitement behind it.
in California alone, there's 2 million people who know sign language, deaf people.
Right.
So you only have 2 million people throughout California to speak to. So when you run into somebody that knows your language, you
Yeah.
want to talk to them.
Right.
So much to the point that you'll call somebody from another country so you can see them talk and be like, okay, now you talk to me.
Yeah.
So we were there for like 20 minutes because I was talking to this lady and I was trying to go. She went for the pots. They were trying to cook food.
Yeah.
She's like, oh no, I got a bigger pot.
Pots.
A pot.
Pots.
I thought she went to the yard sale to buy
Cazuelas. I
pot.
should have said cazuelas.
Yeah,
Cazuelas, yeah.
should have. I would have
Pots.
understood.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's all right.
I thought she was trying to buy drugs at a yard sale.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know. You could sell that at a
Yeah.
yard
Yeah,
sale.
so we stopped. She loves yard sales.
Right. Still to this day.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
telling you.
Yep.
Like 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
pulled over.
But
to
it is crazy though, like how you're saying though, it's a small community that they
Yeah.
can talk, so you get so excited, and it's like it kind of reminds me of if you're from a certain small town in Mexico, all right, and you're at a party and you're like, oh, you're from such and such place, and then they end up being at the same town. Oh my God! Now it's like crazy, and then they exchange your numbers. Now they're
Yeah.
like family,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Now they don't know anything about each other, only that they're from the same
Yeah.
town.
That's all.
And that's just
Yeah.
exactly
That's
how that
everything
is.
to them though,
Yeah,
or to us, depending where you're at.
yeah, yeah.
So you didn't pursue it then?
I
You
mean,
just took the
no,
Not
classes.
yet? You're gonna do it
I
again?
tell you what, to get into this cognitive class, I tried taking it 2 semesters back to back. They only admit 17 students, and
Mm.
first semester I tried for it, 28 students. Second semester I tried for it, 34, and they only let 14 in, and we're all like, why did you? And they only have this every other, so the spring and fall they'll have it spring one year and then fall next year, so it's super hard to get in. So what I decided is like, listen, I'm gonna just finish my GE, go to university, which is the last 2 classes I've been, cause all right, so I'm stupid, and in my head I'm like, if the piece of paper is gonna validate me,
Yeah.
I wanted to say what I wanted to say, not general education. I'm like, nah, deaf studies, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to finish all these courses before they give me the deaf studies
Yeah.
written on a piece of paper. I'm like, well, if I take the classes, I could have transferred out a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I've been holding off on those classes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Gotta get it, son.
Yeah, no.
Gotta do it. So is that so? You said you can go to Cal Poly?
Hopefully. I mean,
Yeah.
I talked to the counselor, like, it's like they'll admit you.
Yeah.
I was like, you're lying.
Nice.
So, yeah.
For sign or no?
No.
Or for
Spanish
Spanish.
major.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
I want to teach. I want to teach.
Yeah.
right on.
I want to do something.
Yeah,
Get a degree.
for sure, dude. You have to follow through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Stick with it. Stop fucking around.
I know I fucked around for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, last few years, I should say. But yeah.
Get on it. It's fun, dude. But man, I mean, it's not like it hadn't been easy, dude. So it's to like listen to firsthand, you know, all this right here. It kind of brings more into perspective as to what you went through. You know what I mean? So still continue what you're doing. You know, go to your school, educate yourself, get your degree, and you know, because you need to get that. Show everybody out back there that you came here for a reason.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
honestly why I haven't been back.
Yeah,
I had nothing to show for it.
yeah,
So
Mm.
I'm like, why am I going to go back? Like, ¿qué
Mm.
estás haciendo? Oh, trabajo en una fábrica. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, right.
I want to
You
be
do that
like, oh, what are
here.
you doing? I'm like, oh,
Mm.
I'm a year away from graduating. Oh, in what? I'm going to teach Spanish. Oh, shit, dope. I'm like, something, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's kind of what's been keeping me to go back.
yeah,
Plus, like, some jobs don't like I had a job for a long time who gave me paid vacations, but they didn't pay me enough to vacation. And then one job who paid me enough to vacation, but they didn't give me time to vacation. And I was like, oh shit, yeah.
yeah.
That's a trip, man.
It is. It's a crazy little story, man.
Yeah.
You know, just to kind of all that shit that you went through, and I'm glad you have a good relationship with your mom.
Yeah.
You know, I never asked you about that.
I'm not bitter or anything like that. If anything, I kind of, you know, I'm kind of grateful it went down. I don't know what the fuck I'd be doing if I'd been in Mexico,
Right.
or if I'd not spent the first 3 years of my life here.
Probably still panhandling over there,
Maybe making big bucks.
making the big bucks.
Making big bucks.
No,
with
but,
all the
every buck's
vacation
right
he
now.
wants.
Okay, so I
All the
took-
vacation
In
he wants.
Mazatlan.
So I took a
Damn.
child development class, right?
Yeah.
And they say the first 3 years of your life kind of make your personality.
The first 5 years, right?
First 3
3 years.
First 3 years are super crucial to mental development and who you're gonna be for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And that was you guys taking care of me. My
Yeah.
mom with
Mhm.
like, you know, yo, I'm a product of lust and affair. My mom was engaged to somebody and the night came around and I was not that dude's son,
Right,
which is why she left me out here.
right.
So if I would have been born out there, or being raised out there, I don't know what the fuck had been with my consciousness compared to here with you guys, loving, caring family. I'm like, it's better that than whatever would have happened
Yeah,
elsewhere. So yeah,
It's cool.
yeah.
You could thank him. Oh, live air.
thank you.
You're welcome. No, it's you know, my parents, a lot of sacrifices, you know, that they
Yeah.
did. So
And you know, I think they knew. I mean, they knew how fucked up the situation was. I was like, it's gonna be hard. We might fuck ourselves up, but the kid needs the help.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why your mom named him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, she
named me.
knew
It's a
that
whole nother thing.
that
She named
you were
me.
Well,
gonna be.
I'm gonna have to have her on the podcast and let her come in.
Yeah,
Damn.
Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
yeah.
You
Give me another
Yeah.
brother.
know.
You see him as a brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I you know, because it gets kind of weird. You know, sometimes I just say, oh, it's my cousin George, but no, yeah, he's my brother.
Jorge.
Yeah.
Jorge. Sorry. George. Jorge.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
Yeah,
to,
he's
the,
cool.
to the immediate family, I was supposed to be named George, so they call me George. I mean, your son, Sandra's kids. I'm Georgie.
They'll
I'm
call
not
him
even
Georgie.
George. I'm Georgie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Georgie. Like that
Tio
one clown.
Georgie. I'm like, hey, what's up, guys?
That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. Sounds like I don't know, man. I mean, to me, it sounds like you're set. You know, because to be honest, who at 28 still tries to go to college
Fuck.
Yeah.
if you're not already engulfed in it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Or you like fucked your life up by having, or
right.
if you're a single person who doesn't really have a good job and has a kid, like you really, your life,
Right.
you have to focus everything to raise that child. Like,
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like you're like
Yeah.
it's either, all right, I made a lot of mistakes in my life, but where I'm standing from, I have nothing really. Like if something
Right.
came up across the country, I could just do that.
Right.
Yeah.
You could get up and go.
There's nothing holding me.
Yeah.
Really.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
I think I'm a lot better than a lot of other people
Yeah,
who
for sure.
out there.
You know, we didn't even get to like some of you said like you made some mistakes. We didn't even get to like some of that other
Oh,
stuff.
when I got arrested,
Yeah.
yeah,
I forgot to mention that this guy was in
Yeah.
jail.
I was in jail.
I remember he was really close to getting shipped out to county.
Yeah, well, cause I belong to county
Right.
apparently to them.
Yeah. So I remember my little sister was like, "Nah, we gotta get him out," and I was like, "Nah, fuck that, leave his ass in there."
And when you tell me that, I was like,
I was like,
honestly,
nah.
2 more days. Cause the way I had on paper, all I had to do was serve 5 days, and they cleared me of that charge.
Yeah.
I was in holding for 3, and then they housed me in, and they're like, "Oh wait, your charges are from LA County,"
Yeah.
and that was a Friday. So Saturday, Sunday, I was gonna be in a holding tank,
Mm-hmm.
and then Monday, probably would have got housed, and then sometime during Monday, I would have got to see a judge, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you served 5 days." Yeah, finished the rest of the. Obviously, I'm hearing this from people who've been arrested 1,000 times. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, you know.
Yeah.
Just fucking don't rape me or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
I'll listen to you. You know, when I was in jail, dude, for like the first 2 days, I was like, you know, or actually no, for the first day, I was like, you know, looking around like real tight, and then
Real
after
tight.
a while,
Yeah, I
dude,
bet you were real tight.
after a while, dude, you like start lounging on the fucking floor.
Then you got loose.
That's when they get you.
No, you start lounging on the floor, and you start using like they give you bologna sandwiches every 4 hours.
Yeah.
You start using that shit as pillows. So you're like, you have no idea how fast you adjust to the situation. I'm using this shit as pillow, and then some
A
dude
bologna
left.
sandwich.
Well, yeah, that was your pillow.
Yeah.
And dude, it's so cold in there. All I had is a sweater, a shirt, and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, not consciously, every time I leave the house, I always bring a sweater just in case I get arrested, because I'm like, it's cold in there. I went through that pain, and it's so cold in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
funny.
pleasant.
Well, try not to get arrested, man.
Yeah.
No, from what I know, everything's cleared on my end. So
That's
All right.
good.
I got arrested for having a, what do they call it, a suspended license, failure to appear to court.
Mm.
Yeah.
This is a rapper. He says, I only missed 2 things: my money and my court dates. And I was like, that resonates with me.
This guy, when he's not a rapper,
I'm not a rapper. I'm a fan
he's
of
a
rap.
struggling student.
A struggling student.
Oh man.
Things will happen for you, man.
Yeah. You know, just keep your head straight and then
Yeah.
keep doing your thing.
Sounds like you know what path you're on, where you're going. Just
I
stay
mean,
on
I
it,
feel like
you know?
I've always known the path. I just keep
veering off.
deviating,
Yeah.
Yeah.
mostly by choice, but I don't know why. I mean, I realize when people ask me how old are you, I'm like, I'm 30. I don't even say 28 anymore. I'm like, I'm 30.
Wait till you're 30, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
Nothing
like-
changes.
I need to get my shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no better time than now.
Handle it. Handle
Yeah.
it. Well, thanks for coming on, bro.
Sure.
Yeah.
Chatting it up, letting us hear your story,
Yeah.
letting everybody,
I like
everybody hear your story.
I've always wanted to know your story, dude. I've been
There
one of
you
those
go.
people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mystery to everybody. They
Was.
was. Now people are like, so my friend Josue over here. I don't know if he's paying attention, but that was probably like, what the fuck in the back. But I mean,
Or at least
whoever-
5 people will hear it.
It'll be a
whoever listens to this are gonna be like,
it'll
No
be
way.
an interesting Christmas Eve conversation for many to talk about.
oh yeah. By the way, I
So-
gotta talk to you about that.
All right.
I don't know if it's Christmas Eve or Christmas. We're doing a gift exchange. Christmas, right? Christmas.
Yeah, we'll
Day?
talk about that off the air.
Yeah, they could talk about that.
All
Yeah.
right, family,
All right, man.
family
So-
over
guys,
here. It's Christmas time.
thanks
Season.
for subscribing.
For you want any you want to put your Instagram out there and all that?
I
People
mean,
could check
I
you out and-
guess it's a 4, a V, 3, and 2 N's.
A 4, a V, a 3,
And 2 N's.
and 2 N's.
Yeah.
We were
I inquired about it earlier.
Yeah, he was asking about it. So that's
Yeah.
just trying to make like
Well, because
a funny play on words
No.
with or Avon.
Avendaño, I usually go with Avon, right?
Yeah.
That was taken. So I was like, well,
You're welcome.
A 4, yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
kidding. Trying to take it.
I'm like, a 4 is
Looks
like
like
an
a.
A.
Yeah.
And then 4VEN was taken. So I was like, 4V3. And then I throw an extra N in there, and there's no way that's taken.
Right.
It's just
Right.
my username.
You got it.
There you go.
Oh, we'll put that up for you. But when is this episode airing?
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve,
Holy
guys.
shit.
Christmas
So-
Eve. So
Merry
Everybody-
Christmas came
Christmas.
early.
Yeah.
Christmas is coming early with Jorge. Merry Christmas. Thanks for subscribing.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Continue to click, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Please be safe out there. Drink safe.
Don't drink the eggnog.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Why?
you have a little bit.
Eggnog's not good.
A little bit of spiced eggnog. I don't like eggnog.
All right. That's
Anyway,
it.
Later,
Right
guys.
here.
Peace.